Hello everyone. In last class we studied about Queen-McCluskey technique, how to apply this technique in order to simplify the given Boolean expression. Right? We studied a couple of problems. I explained the procedure what you need to follow in order to simplify to get the minimized Boolean expression. Right? We'll continue with the same in today's class, and also we'll introduce to a don't care condition, how to solve a given Boolean expression when you have don't care condition using this Queen-McCluskey technique. We'll proceed with the next example here. Simplify the following using Queen-McCluskey minimization technique. What is given? D is equal to, which is a function of input variables A, B, C and D, which is equal to summation of mean terms. What are the mean terms we have? 0, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 14 and 15. These are the mean terms for which the output D is 1. Right? Now the first step for in order to solve using Queen-McCluskey technique is, first thing is you need to come with mean term groups. Right? The grouping of mean terms according to the number of ones. Right? We group the mean terms according to the number of ones it has in group 0, group 1, group 2 and group 3. Right? For the given mean terms, I've written the mean terms, and to the groups those mean terms will belong here. Right? I've written it in the table. Everyone can see from this one what we have. The mean term 0 belongs to the group 0 because it does not contain any ones. Similarly, what we have it, if you see this, the group number 1, what we have it, right? The mean term 1, it has only 1 once. The mean term 2 has only 1 once here, and the mean term 8 has only 1 once in that. So that all these mean terms 1, 2 and 8 belongs to the group 1. Similarly, what we have? We have group 2 here. Which are the mean terms which belongs to the group 2 here? 3, 6 and 9, because it contains 2 ones in it, right? And similarly, what we have? This one, right? The 7 and 14 has 3 ones in it, so that it belongs to the group 3, and 15 has 4 ones in it, so that it belongs to the group 4. The first step is that grouping the mean terms according to the number of ones it contains, right? That is the first step what you need to do it. Once you do that, next what you do? Now, the next step what you need to do is, you need to come with a new table where you compare the group n with group n plus 1. And when you do the comparison, you make sure that there is only one position difference. In the sense, there is only one variable change, right? If there is only one variable change, we can eliminate that variable, right? So that now what you need to do, when I say group n and n plus 1, you need to compare only group 0 with group n here. Similarly, the group 1 mean terms needs to be compared with the group 2 mean terms. Similarly, the group 2 mean terms needs to be compared with the group 3 mean terms, and the group 3 mean terms has to be compared with the group 4 mean terms, right? Now here, when comparing, as I said here, while comparing, you should see they differ in only one position. When I say they differ in only one position, there is only change in one variable. When I say there is only one variable change, it means that we are looking for logical adjacency When I say logical adjacency, we're looking for the relation x or x bar is equal to 1, right? In the sense, if there is any one variable change, it is always d or d bar, c or d, c bar, b or b bar, or a or a bar. If that relationship, if we can group two mean terms and we can get those relation, we can eliminate that variable. As I said as we know it, right? If we group two mean terms, we eliminate one variable. If we group four mean terms, we eliminate two variables. And if we group 8 mean terms, we eliminate 3 variables, right? Our objective is to have minimize the literals in the given Boolean expression, right? So that now we compare the group 0 mean terms with the group 1 mean terms. Now you can see from this what we have it. We'll compare 0 and 1. And where is the change? What we can see it here? The variable d here. Here it is 0, here it is 1. Right? So that if I write the expression for this one, if I write the expression, what it will be like? A bar, B bar, C bar, and D bar, right? This will be for 1, how do you write it? B bar, C bar, and D. So that this equation could be written as A bar, B bar, C bar, right? And which is the common terms we have it, D and D bar. Now this is equal to what now? We know that x or x bar is equal to logic 1. So that what we have? A bar, B bar, and C bar, right? And whenever we group the mean terms here, and whichever the variable which they differ in one position, whichever the variable is eliminated, that eliminated variable, we write it as, we represent that by a dash, right? The eliminated variable is represented by the dash. How do you represent, right? That everyone understood this one? Similarly, what we do next, we compare, again similar to this one, you can see from here. There's 0, we have it here. And again, you can compare 2 here. You can see that they differ in one position. Where they vary here, see, here it is 0, here it is 0, here it is 1. So that we eliminate the variable C when we group the mean terms 0 and 2, and we represent that by dash. Similarly, what we have again here, you can compare 0 with 8 also, right? Where it differs now, a term, we eliminate the variable a because it is 0 here and it is 1 here, right? And we represent there the variable in the position of a, we represent that by the dash there. Have you understood this one, right? If you're not followed in the first class, right, you can follow it now. Similarly, what we have it now, similarly, you can do it for the comparison between the group 1 and group 2, group 2 with group 3, and 3 with 4. Now I have a group of 2 mean terms. I've created a group of 2 mean terms, and wherever the variable is eliminated, we represent that by a dash. We have represented that by a dash here. I can see from here, right? 0 and 1. When we do 0 and 1, we know that in 0 mean term, we have the d is 0. In the mean term 1, it is 1. So that it is represented by a dash. Similarly, the c is, when we group the mean term 0 and 2, the c is represented by dash. When we group the mean term 0 and 8, the a is represented by dash. Similarly, what we have to compare with 1 and 2. When we compared with 1 and 2 in the previous slide, you can see from this one what we have it. You need to see for one variable change. We have it here, this one and 3. Here you can see that A and A both are 0, B are 0 here, and see what we have here. It is 0 for the mean term 3. It is 1, and what about D here? Both are 1 1. So again, you can see when we group the mean terms 1 3, we can eliminate the variable C. Right? This is how you need to keep on comparing and try to group the mean terms. And what about 1 and 6? Can we group 1 and 6 now? What about the 1 and 6? The 1 is here. We have the 6. Now see, is there any one variable change here? They differ in only one position. See here, it is 0 0. It is 0 here. It is 1. It is 0 here. It is 1. It is 1 and 0. Right? There are 3 position difference. Right? So that we cannot combine these two mean terms. Right? And this is how you need to keep on checking whether we can create a group of mean terms or not. If not, don't include that. Only write the mean terms where we can eliminate the variables in the next table. Similarly, compare with 1 with 9. What about 1 and 9 here? Can we do that? What we have 0 here, we have 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, and 1 and 1. Yes, now we can do that because there is only one variable change. A is 0, here it is 1. So that we can create a group of 1 and 9 mean terms here. Right? Everyone understood? Accordingly, we need to keep on making a group of 2 mean terms. If you see whether it is a K-map or the Queen-McCluskey channel, it still works on the Boolean algebra concept. Right? We still look for logically adjacent. When I say logically adjacent, we still use a relation x or x bar is equal to 1. So accordingly, I created a group of 2 mean terms here, and which are the mean terms were included in creating group of 2 mean terms. I made sure that I've checked that in the previous table, because you can see from this one 0, 1, the mean terms 0 and 1 are included. 2 is there, 8 is there, right? The 2 and 8 are included. 9 is here, the 9 is included. 6 is there, 8. Right? All the mean terms are included while creating a group of 2 mean terms. So that I've checked all those things. And you can see from this table at the end what we have. At the end what we have. Right? I've not checked it here. Please make sure that you include that, the check mark. I forgot to include that one. I just put the check mark here so that you don't have any confusion. Right, this is also included. Right, once you do that, next, what is the next step? What we do now, we created a group of 2 mean terms. Now see, from the group of 2, is it possible to have a group of 4 mean terms? How do you do that here? What you need to do is you need to check for this dashes, this dash between the group n and n plus 1. Group 0 we have dash here, and see whether in group 1 do we have the dash for the variable d there. Yes, we do have it here. And see whether there is any one variable change between these two group of 2 mean terms here. Now check for this one. We know that this The dash has to be on the has to be there on the same variable, and see if there is only one variable change. You can see from here we have 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 and 1. Yes, again what we have, it is only one variable change what we have. So that now we can create a group of 4 mean terms, include which has the mean term 0, 1, 2 and 3, and we can eliminate the variable. Which variable we can eliminate now? We can eliminate the variable this, the C variable, what we can eliminate, because here it is 0, here it is 1. Here it is 0 and here it is 1. So that we eliminated 2 variables when we create a group of 4 mean terms. Just you need to just follow the same step and keep on comparing group 0 with 1 and 1 with 2 and 2 with 3 in order to create a group of 4 mean terms. When I say 4 mean terms, it could be applied for any number of maximum group, the larger group of mean terms. Since it is always power of 2, we can go for group of 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. Right? This is how we can make a group of mean terms. Now, they do the comparison. Now we have the comparison here. Now what as I said here, 0, 1, 2 and 3. What we have 0, 0. Since C was the variable, the change here that is replaced with a dash, and D here it was common D, right? So that similarly what we have 1, 2, 8, 9 here, right? Again, if you see this one, what we had, with 18, 9, because as I said, the first thing for comparison is the dash should be the same. It has to be this for the same variable, and look whether there is a one variable change. As you can see from this one, what we have 0 here, we have 1 here, we have 0 here, it is 1, 0, 0, 0 and 0. Again, there is only one variable change. Now we can create a group of 4 mean terms, including this mean term 0, 1, 8 and 9. So that what we have, since it is 0 and 1, we replace that with a dash. It is 0 and 0, we keep it as it is 0, 0, 0, we keep it as it is 0. Since it is dash, we keep the same dash here. Right? Everyone understood? Similarly, what we have for group 1 and 2 comparison. For group 1 and 2, the first thing what you need to see is the common thing what we have it. The dash has to be common between the group 1 and 2 here. Where do we have the common groups now? Where do we have that? We have it here. We have it here. Right? All in one in group 1, these two mean terms 2 and 3, 8 and 9 have the dash, which is the same for 6 and 6 comma 7 here. And now while comparing, see if there is any one variable change now. Now 2 and 3, what we have it. Yes, I just changed this one. Now do the comparison between the mean terms 2 and 3 and between the 6 and 7 in the group 2 here. Dash are common here. This is 1 and 1 here. This is 1 and 1 here. This is 0. This is 1. This is 0 and 0. We have only one variable change, so that we can make a group of 4 mean terms, and we can eliminate the variable b, and the eliminated variable is represented by a dash. So that what we have 2, 3, 6, 7 is 0. The eliminated variable is b, so that we have represented that by a dash. This is 1 and dash here. Right? Similarly, what we have 6, 4, 14, 7, 15. Similar to that, what we have it 7 comma 15 here, right? And see the when you do that grouping, what we have it now, dash 1 1 and dash here. Everyone understood this one, how to create a group of 2 midterms, how to create a group of 4 midterms. This is how you need to proceed, so that we can find the minimized, the Boolean expression, right? So that now what you see here, okay, as we know that we have a next table which is created here, and see which are the mean terms which are included. Now we can see that 0 1 2 3, so that the mean terms 0 1 2 3 everything are included, so that we have put the check marks there. 6 7 14 15, all the mean terms are included. So that's the reason we have put the check marks in front of the table, right? Now in the next table what we have, see whether we can have a group of 8 mean terms, so that we can eliminate 3 variables. Since we have created a group of 4 mean terms, we already eliminated 2 variables. You can see in the first mean term 0 1 2 3, we eliminated how many variables? 2. C and D are eliminated, right? What we have is only A bar, B bar. Similarly for 1 8 0 1 8 9, right, we have only B bar, C bar, and we eliminated A and D variables, right? This is how we proceed. And now check whether we can make a group of 8 mean terms. Now see, compare now here. When creating a group of 8 mean terms, the dash has to be common between the group 0 and group 1, and while comparing 1 and 2, the 2 dashes has to be common between them. Can we have that one? Everyone please double check. If we see in group 0 what we have dash here, we have dash. In group 1, do we have the same dashes for C and D variable? We don't have it, right? We don't have it, so that it means that there is no one variable change there, right? That's the reason we cannot group these 2 mean terms. Similarly, can we have compare the mean term in 1 and 2 groups here? You can see here what we have a dash for B, we have a dash for D. We need to have the same dash in group 2 for the mean terms. Do we have it here? We don't have it, because we have it here and we have it here, so that we cannot combine these 2 mean terms. So that it means that whatever the mean terms group what we have are the potential prime implicants. Now from this potential prime implicant, see which are essential prime implicant. That you need to do it in the next step. So that now once you do that, now write those expression. We already had the expression. What is this expression for the first one? This is 0 0, so that it is A bar B bar. We written as A bar B bar. Similarly for the second one, what we have 0 1 8 9, what we have it here, B is 0, C is 0, so that's the reason we have written it as B bar C bar, B bar C bar. And which are the mean terms? We have 0 1 8 and 9. Accordingly put the X in front of 8 in this is nothing but our prime implicant table. Everyone should be knowing by this time about this prime implicant table, and put the X for the respective mean terms. Since it is 0 1 8 9, we put for 0 1 8 and 9. Similarly for the mean terms 2 3 6 and 7, we put the X in that column, X 2 3 6 and 7. Similarly what we have 6 7 14 and 15, we put the X and X here. Now in whichever column we see only one X, that is nothing but our essential, that becomes our essential prime implicants, right? So that now what we do, now we evaluate this prime implicants to see if there is only one X in the column. If there is only one X in the column, it means that those mean terms are unique, and that needs to be included in the minimized Boolean expression. So that you can see here 8 and 9, there is only one X in the column. And similarly for 14 and 15, we have only one X in the column. So that what we have it now, it means that, what you understand by this one, it means that these 2 terms what we have, the group of 4 mean terms what we have, are nothing but essential prime implicant. This is one of the essential prime implicant. The second one is this one. This is also a second essential prime implicant. And you can see from this one what we have: 0, 1, 2, 3. 0, 1, 2, 3, and we have 0, 1, 8, 9, right? You can see from this expression, but just by looking at this one, the solution is a non-unique solution, in the sense we have two equally simplified expressions here, right? We can group the 0, 1 mean term could be grouped with 2 and 3, right? It could be grouped with 2 and 3, and also the mean term 0, 1 could be grouped with 8 and 9, so that we have two simplified Boolean expression. But these two are B bar, C bar, and BC are essential prime implicant that needs to be included. You can include any of the other prime implicant here. So that what we have: A bar, B bar. Here what we have, the other prime implicant, what is expression for this one? A bar, C. So that this is also correct and this is also correct. We have two simplified expressions for the given problem. Everyone understood this one? I request all the students to please verify the same using K-map technique. For all of the Queen-McCluskey problems, what we saw, always verify using Queen-McCluskey technique, so that if you have made any mistakes also, you know where you have done the mistakes. You do the mistakes only while comparing, in identifying the group of 2 or group of 8. As you keep on solving many problems, you get used to that. Okay, we'll go to the next problem. The fourth problem: simplify the following using Queen-McCluskey minimization technique. What we have, the S is equal to a function of input variables A, B, C, and D. The mean terms what we have is 1, 2, 3, 15 plus summation D. What is the D specifies here? Don't care condition. Which are the mean terms we have? 8, 9, 10, and 11. If you see, this is similar to what we have done for the K-map. For Queen-McCluskey technique also, we will include the don't care terms only if the don't care terms are helping us in creating larger group of mean terms. If they are not helping us in creating larger group of mean terms, we will not include the don't care terms here, right? The first thing, as I said here, the first thing what you do, the grouping of mean terms depending on the number of ones it has. Depending on the number of ones, we can have it group 0, 1, 2, and 3. If you see in the given expression what we have it, there is no 0. So that there is no group 0 because we don't have the mean term 0. Since we have 1, 3, 13, 15, 8, 9, 10, and 11. The don't care terms also needs to be included in the table while writing the groups, right? Now what we have: 1, 8, 3, 9, 10, 11, 13, and 15. And all the don't care conditions, the terms what we have, 8, 9, 10, and 11, we have represented that by a star to say that this is a don't care term. 8 is a don't care term, 9 is a don't care term, 10 and 11 are don't care terms, in order to specify that, so that this star will help us in identifying the prime implicants and essential prime implicant. That's the reason we specified here by the star. It has 1 ones, that's the reason it is in group 1. Similarly, what we have, 3, 9, and 10 belongs to the group 2. 3, 11 and 13, since it has 3 ones in that, it belongs to the group 3. And the 15, since it has 4 ones, so that it belongs to the group 4. Once we do this one, next what you do, now you compare group n with group n plus 1. And how do you compare? You look for logical adjacency. When I say logical adjacency, only one variable change between the main terms, right? So that what we have it here, 1, 1. In group 1, which are the mean terms we have? 1 and 8. In group 2, which are the mean terms we have? 3, 9, and 10. Now you need to compare group 1 mean terms with the group 2 mean terms here. Now you compare this one, group 1, what we have mean term 1, 0, 0, 0, 1. In group 2, which is the first mean term, we have 3, 0, 0, 1, 1. And see whether there is any one variable change between these two. Do we have one variable change here? You can see from this one what we have. This is D is 1, 1. C is 0, it is 1 here. B is 0, here it is 0. A is 0, here is also 0. Now you can see from just by comparing, we know that there's one variable change, and the variable change is nothing but C. So that we can eliminate the variable C, and the eliminated variable in the next table you represented by a dash there, right? So that we found that we can group these two mean terms 1 and 3 and see whether we can group 1 and 9 here. Is there any change between these two now? Now you can see from this one what we have it here. This is just a minute. Now compare these two. And see which are common here and anything which is not common. Now you can see from this one what we have it here. It is 0 here. Do we have it here? We don't have it here, right? What about this one now? It is 0 here. It is also 0. It is 0. It is 0. It is 1 and 1. Now you can just by looking at this one, the three variables are same. Only one variable there is change. So that when we write the next table, the group, a table which contains group of two mean terms. A term you write it as, you represent that by a dash because you eliminate this variable A when you create a group of two mean terms. Okay. Similarly, now compare 1 with 10, 1 with 10. One is compared with 10. Now see whether there is any one variable change or not. As 1 we have it, right? It is 0, it is 1 here. Now here what we have now? It is 0, this is 0 here. Next what we have, this is 0. What about here? It is 1, right? Now here again what we have it, we have 0 here, and what we have it here, we have 0. So that you can just by looking at this one what we have, there is three variable change, so that we cannot group 1 and 10, right? Everyone understood this one? And this is how you need to proceed and find the group of two mean terms. So that we have created a group of mean terms here, and wherever there is don't care terms included in creating a group of mean terms, you need to put the star. We know that 8, 9, and which are the other mean terms we have, 10 and 11, all are don't care terms. So that we have put star in front of those mean term numbers which are don't care, right? And we have created that group, and see which are the mean terms which are included while creating a group of two mean. We know that 1, 8, 3, 9, 10, 11, 13, and 15, all the mean terms are included here, so that we have checked all those things, right? Next, from looking at the table of group of two mean terms, now see whether we can have a group of four mean terms. Now you need to create a group of four mean terms. Again, what you do, you compare group 1 with group 2, and group 2 needs to be compared with group 3. You cannot compare 1 with 3 here. It has to be only 1 with 2 and 2 with 3. Similarly, what we have done, just by looking at this one, I have come with a table for this one. 1, 3, 9, and 11, right? Compared with this one, as I said, if a comparison for this one, what you should do, you should compare for the check mark. We have it here, and we have it in group 2, right? Now compare these two and see whether if there is only one variable change. Dash and dash we have it here, it is 1 and 1, 0 0 we have it, and 0 and it is 1. Now you can just by looking at this one, that is only one variable change what we have, so that we can make a group of 4 main terms. That's the reason I've returned in the next table as 1 comma 3 comma 9 comma 11. Since the a variable is eliminated, we represented that by a dash in this table. B is 0, D is 1. Similarly, what we have 9 comma 1 comma 9, 3 comma 11. If you see this one, if you see everyone, please double check this one. If you can just look at this one, it's still the same here. 1 comma 3 comma 9 comma 11, 1 comma 9 comma 3 comma 11. It is still the 4 same mean terms what we have. Just for the understanding, just to bring that point to explain, I've just written it here. There is no need to write double times here, right? But it's still the same. If you write it also, there is no issues because it's still the same here, right? There is no problem here, right? If both are same. Similarly, what we have, if you can see from this one, these two, right? Both are still the same. This is same and this is same. Everyone understood this one? We know how to create a group of 4 mean terms. And so that what we have, as I said here, now what we have, and you can see from the one important thing what we should have is the don't care terms. If you see this one, what we had, everyone understand? This one, what we have, all the mean terms, what we have it. 8 is a don't care term, 9 is a don't care term, 10 is a don't care term, and 11 is also don't care term, right? Since all are the don't care terms, there is no need to include that in the minimized expression because all are the don't care terms. There is no need to include this one. If there was any of the terms which is not don't care, which was included while creating the group of 4, at that time that term needs to be included. Now what is happening, all the 4 mean terms are don't care terms, so that there is no need to include that in the minimized expression. Have you understood this one? This is very important. So that what we have now, we included 1 comma 3, 9 and 11, and the 4 mean term groups what we grouped is 9, 13, 11 and 15. Here what we did while writing the mean terms, we included only the specified functions 1, 3, 13 and 15 mean terms, right? The don't care terms were not included here, right? So that what we have x, x, x and x. As you can see here, there is x in each of the mean terms. There is only one x in each of the mean terms, so that all these group of the 2 groups what we have it of 4 mean terms are essential prime implicants. And what is the expression for this one? B bar D and AD. So that what is the simplified expression what we have it? S is equal to B bar D or AD. Everyone understood this one? Everyone please verify this problem also using K-map. You know how to solve the K-map for don't care terms also. Please verify using the K-map. Thank you.